starts off with Barack Obama. Then Wednesday, John and Cindy McCain. Don't miss the train.
Tonight on Nightline, Ike strikes. At this moment, the massive hurricane is slamming into Texas. We're live with the latest. Can the seawalls hold off the raging storm? Plus, the interview, day 2. Charlie Gibson is back with more exclusive details from his much-anticipated sit-down with Sarah Palin. Hillary, sexism and more. Unique insights into the woman who wants to be vice president. But does she have what it takes?
From the global resources of ABC News with Terry Moran, Martin Bashir, and Cynthia McFadden in New York City. This is Nightline, September 12th, 2008.
Good evening. As we come on air, the eye wall of Hurricane Ike, now pushing Category 3 strength, is fast approaching the Texas Gulf Coast. The track shows the storm directly hitting Galveston and Houston. Most people have taken the advice and fled from their homes, but tens of thousands of coastal residents have chosen to stay put. The storm surge now threatens to engulf the coastal areas, and there are fears that tens of thousands of homes could be flooded. I'm joined now by Sharon Alfonsi, who's in Houston. Sharon?
Well, the rain and the wind has really picked up here. We're seeing tree limbs falling, and all of this hours before the storm is actually going to pass over Houston. America's 4th largest city is bracing for a hurricane, and this is what they're listening to in their homes tonight. You can hear just how loud it is out here. And most people were told, most of the 2 million residents were told, don't leave your homes, stay here. They wanted to avoid a mass exodus. They didn't want people on the highways. They didn't want a repeat of Rita. And so this morning, people went out. They ran their last errands. They went to get gasoline. By noon, about 40% of the gas stations here in Houston had run out of gasoline. They ran to the Home Depot. There was a run on generators, a run on plywood. And now in Houston, there is actually a curfew in place. Nobody is out on the roads. People are inside their homes, looking out their windows and wondering what Ike is going to deliver to them.
Sharon, you also spent some time with a police officer patrolling one of the mandatory evacuation areas. What did you witness? What did you see?
That's right. We're in Pasadena right now, which is really just not far from the port of Houston. It's a low-lying area. They were worried about flooding here. Parts of the area had been called for a mandatory evacuation. But as we drove around with this police officer patrolling these neighborhoods just hours ago, there were still a lot of people out and about.
No, I didn't see any of the houses boarded up that I thought I would. Okay, if it get bad, give us a call. We'll see what we can do, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to promise too much.
And we do have life jackets.
Okay, make sure you get them on.
Have you been in touch with her?
Yes.
Okay, do me a favor. Go ahead and call her and let them know that you're okay.
Okay.
Will you do that for me?
I sure will.
All right, God bless you. Be safe.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for riding it out.
Yeah, they're going to stay here and ride it out.
Do you think people are just stubborn or they're optimists?
I think they're optimists. I think a lot of people think, oh, how bad could it be?
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're worried about. They're worried about the water from the port pushing into these neighborhoods, causing floods. I think you may have heard that woman say it. She thought she was safe because she had a life vest. Police are hoping that they're not going to have to use that, the residents here. But right now, we are seeing the water start to push its way into Houston and into the neighborhoods here.
Sharon Alfonsi, thank you. And we're joined now by Ryan Owens, who's in Clear Lake, Texas. Ryan?
Martin, good evening to you. Along the Texas coast, we are just beginning to feel the first effects tonight of Hurricane Ike. We have had some tropical storm force winds here already, plenty of rain, and it is the rain combined with a storm surge that is expected to be the real devastation to come out of this hurricane. Take a look at some video from first thing this morning, and it is significant that this video was taken so early in the morning. Look at those waves crashing. That's on the island of Galveston. That seawall you see there where the waves are crashing, that is 17 feet high. Here's the problem. The storm surge is predicted to be at least 15 to 20 feet. So you don't have to be a mathematician to figure out the trouble there. The reason I say it was so important that this was first thing this morning is that is far earlier than anybody expected to see, and a lot of people who decided to wait out this storm in Galveston looked at those pictures and decided to leave. The real question tonight is how many people didn't get out in time or decided they could ride out Ike. You may have heard that forecasters took the very unusual step of telling people that if they decided to stay in those low-lying areas, Galveston included, they risk, quote, certain death. We got a taste of that earlier today when about 100 people who live on a peninsula that is attached to Galveston had to be rescued by Coast Guard helicopter. This is video of those rescues. They had thought they could ride out this storm. They were found waist deep in water, waving at those rescue helicopters. Tonight, they are safe. And those helicopters, along with others from the United States military, are right now waiting. As soon as this weather clears, they will head out to those low-lying areas to search for survivors. The problem is, this storm is almost, if you can believe it, as big as the state of Texas. So the conditions you see now will get worse throughout the night and be bad virtually all day tomorrow. So it'll be some time before we have an assessment of just how much damage Ike has done. Martin, back to you.
Ryan Owens in Clear Lake, Texas, clearly feeling the effects of Hurricane Ike. And when we come back, it's time for day 2. Charlie Gibson is back with more of his exclusive interview with Sarah Palin.
If you have trouble sleeping due to snoring or nasal congestion, try Breathe Right nasal strips for clinically proven relief. Unlike most nasal congestion products, they're drug-free and provide instant congestion relief. Breathe Right's patented reflex action gently lifts open nasal passages, improving airflow to relieve nasal congestion and reduce snoring. In fact, it's the #1 pharmacist-recommended snoring aid. Try Breathe Right nasal strips tonight and breathe better so you can sleep better. Brand Power, helping you buy better.
How does America break the grip of foreign oil? I've got a plan. You've heard me say it starts with wind, and that's half the answer. Step 2 is to begin replacing gasoline made from foreign oil with America's natural gas for our cars and trucks. You've all seen buses or cabs that run on natural gas. It works. Better yet, it's cleaner than gasoline, it's safer, and it's produced in America. So our money stays here. It's not a permanent answer. Eventually, we want our cars to run on electricity and clean, renewable fuel cells. We need renewable fuels for transportation, but the technology's not there yet. Natural gas is the bridge. It quickly reduces our dependence on foreign oil, and it buys us time to develop alternative fuels that will break the stranglehold of foreign oil forever. I'm T. Boone Pickens. Join with me, and we'll take back our energy future.
Mad Men star John Hamm on an all-new Jimmy Kimmel Live coming up on ABC.
Sunday, September 28th, the Extreme Team season of Real Heroes begins with our biggest family ever. The 2-hour season premiere of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Sunday, September 28th, 7/6 Central on ABC.
Not many sure things on the road to happiness, but there's one. Put your cash in an orange savings account from ING Direct, and it'll grow. The secret is, you got a pen? High interest. Tell your friends. Save your money.
Burn After Reading is the new spy comedy critics are calling hilarious. This is like raw intelligence. And insanely funny.
Give me the CDs, the money.
It's a comedic masterpiece.
Oh, that's cool.
Burn After Reading. Rated R. Now playing.
For the past 2 days, Charlie Gibson has spent time with Alaska Governor Sarah Palin in an exclusive series of interviews. And now tonight, we can bring you the final installment, starting with Governor Palin on Senator Hillary Clinton.
I saw you quoted somewhere speaking rather admiringly of Mrs. Clinton, Senator Clinton, during the primary campaign. I think Obama should have picked her.
I think he's regretting not picking her now. I do. What determination and grit and even grace through some tough shots that were fired her way. She handled those well.
Their extended sit-down interview took place at Governor Palin's home in Wasilla, Alaska. Back now to Charlie Gibson.
Thank you, Martin. On the second day of our interviews with Governor Sarah Palin, we talked to the vice presidential candidate in her hometown, Wasilla, Alaska. We chatted inside her house, by the lake in her backyard,
State champs in 82.
And during a tour of her old high school, where Palin's tenacious play on the basketball court earned her the name Sarah Barracuda. Yesterday, we talked to foreign affairs and national security. Today, we talked about domestic policy. Governor John McCain and you are now talking about the GOP as a party of change. We've got a very sick economy. Tell me the three principal things you would do to change the Bush economic policies.
Government has got to get out of the way in some respects of the private sector, being able to create the jobs that we need. Taxes, of course, I think is one of the most important things that government can obviously control and to help with this issue. What I did as a city council member and then as mayor was come in and we cut personal property taxes in Wasilla. And when people came to local government and said, we want a sports arena here, I said, that's fine, and I want a sports arena also, but we're going to have to pay for it.
But you came into the city with a debt-free city and left it with considerable millions of dollars of debt.
A $13 million sports arena that we bonded for, but see, we put government on the side of the people by asking them if that's what they wanted. It was a question on the ballot, and they got to vote yes or no. They were willing to incur that, to pay off a bond, to build it, and an amenity that they had desired.
But I want to come back to the question. I want to know, because you advertise yourselves now as the party of change. What you said to me at the beginning, I don't think anybody in the Bush administration would disagree with. What do you change in the Bush economic plans?
We have got to make sure that we reform the oversight also of the agencies, including the quasi-government agencies like Freddie and Fannie, those things that have created an atmosphere here in America where people are fearful of losing their homes. When we see Americans trusting these agencies with $5 trillion worth of our mortgages, we're trusting them to invest wisely and to not be digging themselves into such a hole that government has to come in and bail them out.
So let me summarize the three things that you'd change in the Bush economic plans. 1, 2, 3.
Reduce taxes, control spending, reform the oversight and the overseeing agencies and committees to make sure that America's dollars and investments are protected.
How much smaller would a McCain budget be? Where would you cut? Take entitlements off the table? Or can we reform Social Security?
We need to get into every department, every division, and that's what's going to be the task of cabinet members. And then the next level of bureaucracy and the next level of bureaucracy, we're going to count on the public officials to join our team that's mission is reform.
I'm trying to get specific. Do you talk about entitlement reform? Is there money you can save in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
I am sure that there are efficiencies that are going to be found in all of these agencies. I'm confident in that.
But agencies are not involved in entitlements. Basically, discretionary spending is 18% of the budget.
We have certainly seen excess in agencies, though, and in when bureaucracy just gets kind of comfortable going with the status quo and not being challenged to find efficiencies and spend other people's money wisely, then that's where we get into the situation that we are into today.
You also talked about taxes. Why do you both keep saying that Obama is going to raise people's taxes? It's been pretty clear what he intends. He's talked about middle-class tax cuts, extending Bush tax cuts on everything but people who earn more than $250,000 a year. Cuts taxes on over 91% of the country. Why do you keep saying he's going to raise people's taxes?
Well, I would argue with the whole premise of that his mission is to not increase taxes. He's had 94 opportunities to either vote for a tax cut or not support tax increases, and 94 times he's been on the other side of what I believe the majority of Americans want, and that is a reduction in taxes.
His tax plan basically modeled on the Bill Clinton tax plans. And
well, I wasn't a fan of the Bill Clinton tax plan either.
In Clinton's 8 years, we created 22 million new jobs in this country. Under Bush, 5 million. And that number is shrinking.
We need to create more jobs. Here again, though, it's got to be the private sector creating those jobs. Federal government, state government, local government, We need to provide the infrastructure tools, those things that individuals and small businesses can't do individually, but as a whole, government can do. Roads, water, sewer, education, public safety, those basics. Few basics, and we do those few things very, very good.
One of John McCain's central campaign arguments, tenets of his campaign, is eliminating earmarks. You with John McCain on that?
I certainly am, and of course the poster child for the earmarks was Alaska's, what people in the lower 48 refer to, the bridge to nowhere. An earmark like that, not even supported necessarily by the majority of Alaskans. We killed that earmark, we killed that project.
But it's now pretty clearly documented. You supported that bridge before you opposed it. You were wearing a T-shirt in the 2006 campaign, showed your support for the bridge to nowhere.
I was wearing a T-shirt with the zip code of the community that was asking for that bridge, and not all the people in that community even were asking for a $400 or $300 million bridge.
But you turned against it after Congress had basically pulled the plug on it, after it became apparent that the state was going to have to pay for it, not the Congress, and after it became a national embarrassment to the state of Alaska. So do you want to revise and extend your remarks?
It has always been an embarrassment that abuse of the earmark process has been accepted in Congress, and that's what John McCain has fought, and that's what I join him in fighting. It's been an embarrassment, not just Alaska's projects, but McCain gives example after example after example. I mean, every state has their embarrassment.
But you were for it before you were against it. You were solidly for it for quite some period of time until Congress pulled the plug.
I was for infrastructure being built in the state, and it's not inappropriate for a mayor or for a governor to request and to work with their Congress and their congressmen, their congresswomen, to plug into the federal budget, along with every other state, a share of the federal budget for infrastructure. And now, obviously, Charlie, with the federal government saying, no, the rest of the nation does not want to fund that project, you have a choice. You either read the writing on the wall and understand, okay, yeah, that project's going nowhere. And the state isn't willing to fund that project. So what good does it do to continue to support something that circumstances have so drastically changed? You call an audible and you deal in reality and you move on.
But you didn't say no to Congress, we'll build it ourselves, until after they'd pulled the plug, correct?
No, because Congress still allowed those dollars to come into Alaska. They did. Well, transportation fund dollars still came into Alaska. It was our choice, Charlie, whether we were going to spend it on a bridge or not. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. We're not going to spend it on the bridge.
They had started appropriating money for it. They appropriated $223 million, I think, for the bridge. Then when the project died, that money was still there. And you kept, the state of Alaska kept that money. Is that consistent with the image of a reformer?
It certainly is. Those are infrastructure dollars that a state government and a local government needs to figure out how to best prioritize those federal funds. And Charlie, we killed the bridge to nowhere, and that's the bottom line.
And when we come back, the interview with Sarah Palin takes a personal turn.
Bipolar disorder is challenging and can affect your job, family, and friends. For years, I had severe mood swings, racing thoughts, unusually high energy, and was extremely irritable. My doctor and I discussed my options. He prescribed Abilify.
Abilify helps control symptoms of bipolar mania and reduce the risk of manic relapse. Request your free information kit. Call your doctor if you have high fever, stiff muscles, and confusion on Abilify, as these may be signs of a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, as these could become permanent. If you have diabetes or are at risk for it, your blood sugar should be monitored. High blood sugar has been reported with Abilify and medicines like it. In some cases, extreme high blood sugar can lead to coma or death. Elderly people with dementia taking Abilify have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor if you have unusual or worsening mood changes or thoughts of suicide. Other risks include dizziness upon standing, impaired judgment or motor skills, or trouble swallowing. Hundreds of thousands of patients have been prescribed Abilify. Ask your doctor if Abilify is right for you.
Starting Monday, come ride along with us on
the Good Morning America Whistle Stop Tour.
5 breathtaking mornings, making TV history. Monday, it all starts off with Barack Obama. Then Wednesday, John and Cindy McCain. Don't miss the train.
Seconds before an accident, the newly redesigned M-Class senses the collision and closes windows in preparation. Dual-stage airbags then deploy on impact, while the advanced crumple zone and cabin design absorb and deflect energy around the passengers. Safety innovations we're proud of at Mercedes-Benz, and ones we hope you never get to see. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a special lease offer through Mercedes-Benz Financial.
My name is Julie Clark, and this is for you, the kids in my classes. What you do does make a difference. Global warming is a choice. It's our choice.
It's actually a million little choices that we make every day.
Like not wasting energy.
And as a family, we can make a huge difference.
Because actions speak louder than words.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that won't singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
This fall, one comedy is so hilarious.
You are not going to believe what almost just happened.
It's scary.
This is how we do it, baby.
Entertainment Tonight raves Ghost Town is clever.
Oh, don't.
And funny. It's the kind of movie I thought they didn't make anymore.
Sorry, you idiots. Can we talk about my bowels?
Ricky Gervais is wickedly brilliant.
Back off. Sorry? Never mind. It's not you. It's a bit you.
Ghost Town.
You're adding it.
Rated PG-13, September 19th.
McCain, Obama, Palin, Biden, 4 candidates, all who want your vote, and all 4 of them have talked only to one network evening news anchor, only Charlie Gibson. In this historic race for the White House, trust in Charlie and ABC's World News, your trusted source.
Nightline continues from New York City with Martin Bashir.
We continue now with more from Charlie Gibson's interview with Governor Sarah Palin. We've heard her views on war, God, and the economy. But what about issues where the personal meets the political, like abortion, for example? Again, here's Charlie Gibson.
Thanks, Martin. Our conversation today with Governor Sarah Palin also looked at more of the personal aspects of the candidate, like questions some have raised about her ability to balance her family of 5 with the stress and responsibility of the vice presidency. There is a great debate going on in this country. And I want to ask you, is it sexist for people to ask, how can somebody manage a family of 7 and the vice presidency? Is that a sexist question to ask?
I don't know. I'm lucky to have been brought up in a family where gender's never been an issue. I'm a product of Title IX also, where we had equality in schools. It was just being ushered in with sports and with equal opportunity for education all of my life. I'm part of that generation where that question is kind of irrelevant because it's accepted. Of course you can be the vice president and you can raise a family. I'm the governor and I'm raising a family. I've been a mayor and have raised a family. I've owned a business and we've raised a family. When people have asked me when I was governor and I was pregnant, gosh, how are you going to be the governor and have a baby in office too? And I replied back then, as I would today, I'll do it the same way the other governors have done it when they've either had baby in office or raised a family. Granted, they're men, but do it the same way that they do it.
Roe v. Wade, you think it should be reversed?
I think it should, and I think that states should be able to decide that issue.
It's a critical issue for so many women.
It is.
You believe women should not have that choice?
It is a very critical, very sensitive, and a personal issue also for so many women and men across this nation. I am pro-life. I do respect other people's opinion on this also. And I think that a culture of life is best for America. What I want to do when elected vice president with John McCain, hopefully be able to reach out and work with those who are on the other side of this issue, because I know that we can all agree on the need for and the desire for fewer abortions in America and greater support for adoption, for other alternatives that women can and should be empowered to embrace to allow that culture of life.
John McCain would allow abortion in cases of rape and incest. You believe in it only in the case where the life of the mother is endangered.
That is my personal opinion.
Would you change and accept it in rape and incest?
My personal opinion is that abortion allowed if the life of the mother is endangered. Please understand me on this. I do understand McCain's position on this. I do understand others who are very passionate about this issue who have a differing view. The problem is there are too many abortions and women are hurt, and I just believe that it is time that we evolve the debate even into finding more long-term solutions to the issue we're talking about.
Governor Sarah Palin. And to read more about our exclusive interview, you can click on the Nightline page at abcnews.com. And when we come back, breaking news on a rescue operation following a passenger and freight train collision in metropolitan Los Angeles.
ABC News Nightline, brought to you by IBM.
So this is it, huh?
Yeah, the IBM Blade Center. It's like 12 times as energy efficient as our old rack servers.
It'll help make us green?
It'll help make us very green.
How?
Like this.
Does this happen every time?
Pretty much. Yep, watch out for that one. Wow.
The IBM Blade Center with Intel Xeon processors.
The original Mavericks. He fights pork barrel spending. She stopped the bridge to nowhere. He took on the drug industry. She took on big oil. He battled Republicans and reformed Washington. She battled Republicans and reformed Alaska. They'll make history. They'll change Washington. McCain-Palin. Real change.
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Two storied programs, both with their sights set on a national title, take the field in the most anticipated game of the season. Saturday Night Football on ABC. Ohio State USC, Saturday at 8 Eastern.
It's the latest in communication, entertainment, and exhilaration. The 300 horsepower Acura MDX. It's next generation luxury. Acura Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on 2008 Acura models for well-qualified customers.
There are plenty of lawyers out there, believe me. So where do you go to find the one that's right for you? The phone book? A friend, maybe. For the right lawyer for your specific needs, there's only one place to go. Lawyers.com.
Lawyers.com offers exclusive Martin Del Hubble peer review ratings and reliable lawyer profiles to help you find the expertise you need right in your area. If you need a lawyer, you've got options. Find the help that's right for you at Lawyers.com.
California's leading environmental groups all oppose Proposition 7 because it's deeply flawed. It effectively eliminates small renewable energy producers.
I went into the solar energy business 32 years ago for all the right reasons. And now Proposition 7 threatens my business for all the wrong reasons. Prop 7 could cost California thousands of good green jobs.
Join California's leading environmental groups and vote no on Prop 7.
Oh, sure. You could pay that crazy boutique price or get the same bag right now at TJ Maxx for up to half off. How? Simple. A designer makes oodles of studded suede bags, but the boutiques of the world can only buy so many. And TJ Maxx absolutely loves those bags, so they strike up a deal for the rest. And that's how you can get the same bag as in boutiques right now, but for up to 50% less. When we score, you score. TJ Maxx.
Tatum O'Neal speaks out about her drug bust. Tonight's Oprah.
Just because it's late night doesn't mean you should be in the dark. For a brighter take on the day, Nightline, late night on ABC.
Rescue efforts are continuing at the scene of a train crash which occurred around 4:30 Pacific time in the San Fernando Valley just outside of Los Angeles. A Metrolink train carrying more than 200 passengers on board collided with an 80-car freight train. Several train cars derailed, some overturned. The mayor of Los Angeles has said that up to 15 people have been killed and more than 100 injured. There's still no word on what caused the crash. ABC News will continue to monitor this story. And of course, we'll also be following the latest on Hurricane Ike as it slams into the Texas Gulf Coast, threatening more than 100,000 homes. Stay with ABC News throughout the weekend, beginning with Good Morning America tomorrow for the latest. But that's our report for